Okay, guys, I'm really sorry that I can't be there, but we still need to get over this review guide. So I'm going to go over it with you, and you're just stuck listening to my very boring and tired voice. Let's look at number one. Number one says label the 4 quadrants on the coordinate plane. So when we do that, we always start in the top right corner is 1, and then we go counterclockwise to the left. So 2, 3, and 4. Number 2 says to label the origin. The origin is the center point, and the ordered pair of the origin is 0, 0. What quadrant would the point 4, negative 6 be located? Okay, well, 4 would be from the origin 4 to the right, and negative 6 means down 6. That's quadrant number 4. What quadrant would the point negative 3, 4 be located? So negative 3 is 3 to the left, and positive 4 is up, so it's going to be in quadrant 2. Number 5, 8, 2. Positive, positive is always the first quadrant. Number 6, point A is located at 4, 5. If this point was reflected over the x-axis, what would the new ordered pair be? Well, if I'm reflecting over the x-axis, means my x is going to stay the same. That's the first number, so 4. And my other coordinate is going to become the opposite, so negative 5. Point B is located at negative 3, 8. If this was reflected over the y-axis, what would the new ordered pair be? Okay, y-axis means the y number stays the same, so my 8 is the same. And my negative 3 would become the opposite, so it would be positive 3. Number 8, point C is located at 4, negative 2. If you draw a reflection over the x and then over the y-axis, what would the new ordered pair be? If I'm going to reflect over both the x and the y, it means both my numbers are going to be opposite. So instead of positive 4, I'm negative 4. And instead of negative 2, I'm positive 2. Number 9, what is the distance between the points negative 4, 5 and negative 4, negative 3? First thing to figure out is, are they in the same quadrant? This is a negative positive and a negative negative. So they're in different quadrants. Different quadrants, D, means that I'm going to add. Next, I'm going to find the two numbers that are the same and cross them out. And then I'm going to add the absolute values of the other two. So the absolute value of 5 is 5, and the absolute value of negative 3 is positive 3. So my distance is 8. Number 10, what's the distance between negative 2, negative 8, and positive 3, negative 8? Well, negative negative and positive negative means they're in different quadrants, so I'm also going to add on this one. I find the numbers that are the same, that's the negative 8s, and then I add the absolute values of the other two. So absolute value of negative 2 is 2, and absolute value of 3 is 3. So I've got 5 as my distance. Number 11, what's the ordered pair for point A? That's this right here. Start at the origin and I count 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be negative 4 because I'm going to the left. And then I count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's positive because it's up. So negative 4, 5. Number 12, the ordered pair for point B. Here's point B. Start at the origin and I go left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I went left, it's negative 4. And then I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I went down, it's a negative 5. And then the distance between those two. Yes, these are close, so you could count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you want to do it the other way, you say This is negative, positive, and negative, negative. So different quadrants means I add. And I'm going to cross out the same ones and add the absolute values of 5 and negative 5, which ends up being 5 plus 5, which is 10. Number 14, what would the new ordered pair be if point C was reflected over the x-axis? So here's point C. I had you mark in class that we're going to call it right here. That point is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's positive 6. And then down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So negative 5. If I'm going to reflect over the x-axis, then the x number stays the same. So that's positive 6. And the y would become the opposite. So instead of negative 5, I'm at positive 5. "15. The map shows Bobby's school and the library. Every day she walks from the school to the library. How far is her walk if every unit is a quarter mile?" So let's figure out how far apart they are first. You can count this one too. You can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they're 12 units apart, but it says that every one is a quarter mile. So if I were to multiply 12 times 1/4, it's 12 over 1 times 1 over 4, I get 12 over 4, which simplifies to 3. You could also say if every unit is a quarter mile, that means every 4 units is 1 mile. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 1 mile. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 2 miles. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 3 miles. "16. John wants to draw a square on the grid. 3 of the points are A, 2, 6, so start at the origin, 1, 2, and then up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's point A. B is 2, negative 1, so start at the origin, 1, 2 to the right, and then down 1. Here's point B. C is negative 5, negative 1. The origin, negative means left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 1. So there's point C. And it wants to know what would the coordinate of the 4th quarter of the square be? Well, it's got to line up with this line right here. And it's got to line up with this line right here. So this would be my coordinate, which is at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So negative 5. And then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So negative 5, positive 6. Number 17, back to ratio tables. I've got 2 things I need to fill in. This one right here and this one right here. Well, to turn a 1 into a 2, I multiply by 2. So 4 times 2 would give me 8. And 24 is here, so 12 to 24 is multiplying by 2. And 3 times 2 is 6. And it wants me to put this on the graph. So my biggest number here is 6, and my biggest number here is 24. So I'm going to put my children as my x-axis, and I'll make my candies my y. Remember when we do this, we were going to make our x and y coordinates. X goes first, so that's going to be 1, 4, 2, 8, 3, 12, and 6, 24. And then I'm going to put them on a graph. So 1 and then 4 would be almost to the 5. 2, 8. So right here. 3, 12. Here-ish. And 624 be almost to right here. Remember when we graph ratio tables that you should always end up with a straight line. Okay, another ratio table for us. 2 more spots to fill in. 3 turns into a 12 by multiplying by 4. So 1 times 4. 1 times 4 is 4. And then I have a 12 up here. So a 4 turns into a 12 by multiplying by 3. So 12 times 3 would give me 36. So 36 is my bigger number. I'm going to use that on the y-axis. And I'll use the 12 down here on the x. Looks like I didn't give you quite enough room on here, but we can improvise. My coordinates are going to be 1, 3, 4, 12, 7, 21, and 12, 36. So 1, 3 would be about here. 4 and 12, 7 and 21, and 12, call it here, and 36, right about there. Okay, number 21 says draw a rectangle on the coordinate plane graphing the following points. So 4, 0, start at the origin and go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, and the y is 0, so I'm just going to put a point right there. 4, 6, so same spot, but then up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Negative 4, 0, so 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left and up 0. And then negative 4, 6, so right here. What is the perimeter of the rectangle? Okay, well the perimeter is if I was making a fence, so how far around? This side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, if that side's 6, then that means that this side across from it's also 6 because it's a rectangle. And across the bottom, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if this is 8, then the top is also 8. And 8 plus 8 is 16. 6 plus 6 is 12. And 16 plus 12 is 28. So 28 units. Number 22, John is visiting the zoo. He leaves the elephants at 0, 1. So this is the elephants. Heads to the penguins at 3, 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, and up 1. Then he goes to the lions at 4, negative 2. 4 to the right and down 2. The monkeys at 3, negative 5. So 1, 2, 3, and down 5. The bears at 0, negative 5. So right here. The giraffes at negative 1, negative 2. And then back to the elephants. It wants to know what kind of polygon this is. So if I were to connect my dots, I end up with something that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. And 6 sides is a hexagon. Number 23, put the following points on the coordinate plane and connect them to form a triangle. Okay, so A is negative 6, positive 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's A. B is positive 7, positive 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for point B. And then C is negative 6, negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. make a triangle, okay? All right, what is the distance from point A to point B? Well, A and B, -6, +7, and +7, +7. A and B are in different quadrants, so I know I'm going to add, and the same number would be 7 and 7, so I'm going to add the absolute values of -6 and -7, so it would be 6 + 7, which is 13. And the distance from A to C, these are also in different quadrants, so I'm going to add. A and C, the same number is the -6, so I need to add the 7 and the -5, their absolute values. So 7 + 5 equals 12. So that's my distance from A to C. Okay, since we're finished, you do have some other work you need to do. I should be there tomorrow, and we will be able to go over stuff a little bit before we take the test. So hopefully you guys have gotten what you need to. If you need to watch this again for some certain skills, then go ahead and do that. And please be good. Thank you.